So joining us on the show right now, though, Matt Britton, head coach of Cardinal Mooney boys soccer. We get to have him on again, Coach. Thank you for joining us today.
Oh no, thank you for having me on.
Big matchup tonight, and we got you on to preview it. Um, up and down season for you guys so far, 2-2-2, but you have a really tough schedule, and we previewed that before the season. Talk about some of the things you've seen from your boys so far this year.
Yeah, like you said, yeah, we haven't started as strongly as we would have liked. We struggled towards the start, but we always knew. And when I was on the last time, I said we were gonna struggle a little bit. We weren't gonna be as crisp as we were last year. There's a lot of youth, a lot of players playing in new positions, so we were gonna take some time to adjust. And it unfortunately it's taking a little longer than I would have liked, and as a team we would have liked. But the lights at the end of the tunnel, we're starting to come good, and no better team to challenge ourselves with against Howland than one of the best teams in the area.
Talk to me a little bit about what you've seen, though, as far as this adjustment period that you're going through. Talk to me about some positives you've seen and some overall positive takeaways that you have from the team and the younger players, especially.
Definitely some positives with the younger players. It's that grind mentality that we talk about all the time, even though things might not be going our way, especially with the game that we had last Saturday against Western Reserve. We never quit, even though score might stay different. We never quit. We kept playing to the very end. So that's always a positive, especially with the younger players, that they don't get discouraged when things are going their way. They don't fall into just making the same errors over and over again. We're still trying to play, and that's the main thing right there, is that we're not getting down on ourselves. We just keep it going.
And when you're going through a stretch like this, I imagine the leadership and the captains also play a big role in keeping this team positive.
Yes. Yeah, and that was one of the big things. That was one of the massive voids we had to fill this year, was our leadership role, because we lost our leader last year, and Brian Philliman, he put the entire leadership on his back. So a lot of the kids that are stepping up now didn't have to do it. They didn't have any responsibilities leadership-wise, because Brian took care of everything. But it's also a benefit that he was here, because now they got to see what a true leader looks like. So they just have to, try and fill the shoes that he did, and they're doing a great job.
I don't want to wait any longer without trying to talk about this matchup with Howland, because I think it's a one that everybody's excited for. I think there's no doubt, though, looking at this Howland team, Dylan DePiero has been one of the better players in the area as far as a constant goal threat anytime he is on the field. Talk to me about how you're going to have to try to contain him and at least keep an eye out for him on the field, because anytime the ball's at his legs, it always seems like there's a scoring threat.
Oh, absolutely. Dylan's a great player. Howland's full, and they always seem to have good forwards. They had Jordan and Gabe last year, and he's just filling in those shoes perfectly well. So, but defending him, it comes from the start. We have to pressure the ball in the midfield, and that's one of the keys we've been working on. We can't allow Howland to have the time on the ball to find his feet, because once the ball gets to his feet, a lot of the times it's too late. He's already beating the man, and it's one-on-one with the keeper after that. So it's going to start before the ball even gets to him. We're going to have to deny the ball to him, and we're going to have to press Howland high.
We talked now about how you're going to defend all the things that Howland can bring at you, but their defense also hasn't been scored upon this year. So from your offensive side of things, what kind of things do you think you can try to do to get the first goal on Howland of the season?
It's going to be nice to score the first goal against them this year. We're hoping we're able to bring that out tonight. Just offensive-wise for us, we have to keep the tempo. We have to keep the ball on the floor. We have to move it around, try and stretch their defense. Like you said, their defense hasn't been breached. It hasn't been tested much. So let's see if we can pin them behind the ball and put them under constant pressure for the full game. In games that we've found success this year, we've started early. So that's one of our goals coming into this game, is we want to get an early start on them, because like you said, they haven't been scored upon, and we're going to look at, they haven't lost a regular season game in the last 40. I think it's 40 straight regular season games that have gone without losing. So we want to get on them early and see if we can get some doubt in their minds.
Talk to me about the team, Mooney's team collectively too, and we were a little bit close to halfway through the season, but talk to me about this upcoming second half of the season, and I guess just put into words for me and finish the sentence for me. Mooney will have a successful second half of the season if
We'll have we'll have a successful second half of the season. If we're able to keep the intensity high, we're able to defend with the middle like we did last year. We had a midfield block that was pretty impenetrable throughout the entire season. We forced teams to play the ball long over top, and our defense just ate it up. So we have to get back to just that defensive pressure in the middle of the field. But that comes along. We graduated all of the midfield, so that comes to those young players just stepping up there. So as long as our younger players continue to grow as the season goes on, then we will be successful.
Obviously, winning tonight is the first goal. So that aside, what would you have to see from your team tonight to really feel good about the game and how it went when you go to bed tonight?
Obviously, you said winning would be the best thing, but no, I just want to see a competitive game. I want to see us give everything we have in the game. I want to see us try to stick to our DNA, stick to our fundamentals, and try to take the game to Howland. If Howland beats us, they beat us. All right. It is what it is in that situation, but I want to see if we can force Howland into a game that they're uncomfortable with. I want us to dictate the tempo. I want us to take the game to Howland.
Any dark horse candidates for players that are going to come up huge for you tonight, or that you're expecting to get some maybe playing minutes that we haven't seen, getting some, or maybe putting them into a bigger role?
Without selling the farm, because
I don't want to give all the secrets away tonight. But no, just say we're looking for some big minutes from a couple key subs that come off, because just the style that we play, our wingers are up and down the field, so they get gassed pretty easily, or not easily, but just the intensity that I expect them to play with. They need a breather every now and again. So it's just the subs that come in. Can we keep the intensity high?
With your schedule, and this is no disrespect to the teams in the area, but you're seeing teams that are just different than anything that you'll see in Division III in the area come tournament time. How much do you think you're trying to really send that message to your kids? Because 2-2-2, when you look at it, can be demoralizing and oh man, we're getting beat or whatever. But man, you're playing teams that are really, really sharpening your tools for that Division III playoffs.
Absolutely. It's no secret that I prefer to play a strong schedule, because it's soccer in high school. Everyone makes the playoffs, so why not challenge yourself with the strongest possible schedule you can have? Because you're guaranteed. It's not like football. You're guaranteed to make the playoffs. So you got to go out and challenge yourself. You got to see what your team's made of. And you look at it. I think our first 6 games, we've played 4 Division I teams in Canfield, and then we've played Western Reserve Academy, it's a secondary school. I mean, they're technically ineligible through the Ohio High School Athletic Association because they allow 5th-year seniors. I think when we played them, half of their starting lineup was over the age. I think they were over 19 or whatnot. So, and this is basically a college team. So we want to challenge ourselves with those opponents. So we're ready for whatever we see. And, that really helped us in our run last year.
I'm curious now on where Coach Britton's mindset and mentality is for the team. So if you can, talk to me about some coaches that were either in your life, or maybe some coaches that are in the professional ranks, but some coaching styles and philosophies that you've kind of brought into your own style and philosophy, and maybe some aspects from other coaches that you use for your own coaching culture.
And with that question, there's both the good and the bad. I've had a couple coaches that I've been like, I don't want to be anything like that person. I don't want to treat the players like that. I don't want to run my practices like that. I don't want to talk to people like that. So it's both good and bad. Like, my assistant coach was my high school coach. We have a relationship that goes all the way back to almost 15, 16 years ago. And he was a big influence on my coaching career. I tried just how he spoke to people, how he brought everyone in, just to build the team camaraderie, and just that ability to make everyone feel a part of something. And that's what I try to do, get the entire team to feel like they're a part of it. And a big influence of mine is obviously my favorite professional team's Liverpool. So Jurgen Klopp, and he kind of preaches the same mentality. everyone comes together, whether it's, with the fans, which with the parents, everything's just one.
Before we let you go, we want to come kind of full circle and ask, what are the keys to victory tonight for you guys?
Keys to victory for us, obviously don't let Howland score, but no. Keys to victory would be we got to start early. We got to start. We can't afford to get behind early. So we have to come out of the gate. We have to play with intensity. We have to set the tempo right from the start. If we allow Howland to do that, then we're gonna be in trouble because that's not our strong suit. Like I said, the games that we've been successful in are the ones that we got to start early, and we were able to put our opponents behind the ball, and that's what we want to look to do to Howland tonight.
I like that. Don't let Howland score. That's a pretty big key. Pretty big key.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough because they're such a talented team. They're so talented and they're so well coached. Brian does a phenomenal job.
Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today and previewing this big matchup tonight. It's selected as the game of the night by the good people over at Steel Valley Soccer, so shout out to them and good luck against Howland, and we'll look to talk to you again real soon.
All right, thank you. I appreciate you for having me out again.